guys? Welcome to Wats Sports Hawaii here. The only show where I try to look like a host for Good Morning America and, we just try to act cool,
Boring!
But guys, I haven't seen you guys in about 2 to 3 weeks. And, that was the last time I did a show. So let's stop talking. Let's get right into Hawaii sports. Last week, the Honolulu Little League won the Little League World Series last week over South Korea. Congratulations to the boys and Coach Gerald Oda and the assistant coaches. And I know I'm about a week or 2 weeks late, but hey, we're still celebrating a World Championship here in Hawaii, and congratulations to the Honolulu League and Gerald Oda once again. You guys rocked, and I could have asked for a better performance, so congratulations and have fun at your guys' parade down at I believe it was downtown Honolulu, I believe. But yeah, have fun, you guys, and you guys deserve it. The UH football team is 2-0. Yes, 2-0. Don't have to reverse or rewind on my speech here. They are, after 2 games, they won 2 games and they have 0 losses. We'll talk about more about UH football in our next segment, Last Minute. The University of Hawaii Wahine volleyball team, after going 0-2 to start their season 2 weeks ago, they beat Coastal Carolina twice last week, and now they'll go ahead and sorry, as I repeat myself, they'll play in their, I believe it's the Outrigger tournament, starting today. I know today they play Idaho, and there's like 2 other teams, but yeah, you go girls and kick some butt on the Terraplex, huh? And finally, college football is back. Not Hawaii, but everybody is getting hyped, and yes, of course, Hawaii is getting hyped because we're 2-0. But our Hawaii boys, though, they literally balled last week, and so here are some of the notable performances from our Hawaii boys here. And I'll start off with Mackenzie Milton, Mililani alumni, and going 24 of 32 on passing, 346 yards passing as well, threw for 5 touchdowns, and added 50 yards on the ground as he and the University of Central Florida Knights defeated the Yukon Huskies 56-17. Then Saturday, everybody expected to have a lit Saturday, but Jordan Ta'amu started it off though on Saturday as he and his Ole Miss Rebels defeated the Texas Tech Red Raiders 47-28. Ta'amu went 22 of 32 passing, threw for 336 yards. Threw for 2 passing. Also threw for 2 touchdowns as well. One of the Heisman frontrunners and defending national champion Alabama got off to their hot start as well, as Tua Tagovailoa started the game over Jalen Hurts and went off. And when I mean off, he went off. 12 of 16 passing, threw for 227 yards, threw for 2 touchdown passes, and added 1 touchdown on the ground, as the defending national champions Alabama looked strong in their opening game against Louisville 51-14. And I've just found out that Nick Saban also named Tua Tagovailoa the official starting quarterback. And then on Monday, to close everything off, Farrington grad Braden Fehoko had a huge game against Miami on Monday. Fehoko, of course, like I said, the Farrington grad had a tackle and also recorded a half of a sack, and that sack was huge as that sack led to the final breath, the last chance that Miami had, and Fehoko came up with a huge tackle there. And congratulations to him and his LSU boys as LSU defeats Miami 33-17. Alright guys, so now we're going to go into one of the segments that I haven't been featured in quite a while, but we're going to go ahead and do our segment here, and it's called the last minute drill here. So I basically have 1 minute to talk about whatever I want, whatever the topic is, and yeah, let's see what kind of topics we have here for our show today. Alright guys, so the first topic is my reaction to the Honolulu Little League winning the Little League World Series here about 2 weeks ago. So my reaction to this is that it's a great accomplishment for the boys, the team, the coaches, but also for the state of Hawaii. You know, we haven't seen a World Championship team in the Little League World Series for a while, and actually before that, before they won, it was about 10 years since the last team won, which was Waipio Little League in 2008. And I mean, so gotta give the huge props to Honolulu Little League and the boys. You know, and I think that you know, I just seen the future of St. Louis and Kamehameha baseball pretty much, but you know, it's special, you know, the way they handled themselves, how humble they were, you know, and all that. I mean, it's unbelievable for them, and hey, congratulations you guys, and you guys deserve it. We have the next topic here, and that is, how is this a very impressive 2-0 record for the University of Hawaii football here. Now, actually, it's very impressive for the University of Hawaii to have a 2-0 record, beating Colorado State and Navy. I mean, to be honest, I really thought they were going to lose both of those games, actually, and I think along with everybody. But, you know, but I think what's clicking for Hawaii is the offense right now. Cole McDonald, you know, he's basically saying, can pretty much saying old McDonald had a farm, you know, and let me tell you, you know, his farm's doing pretty well, and you know, he was just named the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week, and you know, it's very, but as a team for the whole, it's pretty, you know, it's very impressive, and I mean, you know, I just hope that they can continue this success, and you know, and see if they can build off of that going into this week against Rice. Now we're gonna continue with the University of Hawaii football, but now we're gonna talk about the run and shoot offense here, as of course Nick Rolovich had announced way earlier in the season, since summer, that they'll be going back to the old style run and shoot for the first time since Greg McMackin was the head coach. And so my thoughts on the run and shoot, to be honest, because I haven't seen the run and shoot in quite a while, I really forgot how explosive this offense was, and just how dynamic it was. I mean, you know, and the way Cole McDonald looked like, I thought that was Colt Brenner or Brian Moniz playing out there. And the one thing that really showed me that the run and shoot was back was that big pass play to JoJo Ward for the 75-yard touchdown against Navy last week, and I haven't seen that type of a pass since I believe I'd say the Brian Moniz era and Greg McMackin time. But I mean, yeah, you know, it's the run and shoot offense is doing great, and you know, it's you know, it's very, I think that's the offense that Hawaii needs to run. You know, the offense that Hawaii will succeed on, you know. And so yeah, really underestimated the run and shoot. Alright guys, and now the next topic here that I'll be talking about is that, do we have an all Hawaii race for the Heisman Trophy? Now, and that includes possible front runners, Mackenzie Milton, Tua Tagovailoa, and I gotta say this, but Cole McDonald. I mean, 3 quarterbacks, you know. But yeah, they could be the front runners for the Heisman Trophy here. So do we have it all Hawaii Heisman Trophy race? You know, if they can continue their play throughout the season just like this, you know, it's very possible, very possible. I mean, Mackenzie Milton, you know, everybody thought he was going to be a Heisman frontrunner from the beginning of the season, and Central Florida had already been advertising him for the Heisman Trophy. Tua Tagovailoa looked very good, in his game against Louisville, and because Hawaii is like the only team to play 2 games. I mean, Cole McDonald is pretty much leading the nation in pretty much every statistic as a quarterback in passing. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, and I forgot to mention too, Jordan Ta'amu as well. I mean, can't forget him as well, because he looked very impressive in the Texas Tech game. But yeah, I mean, I do believe we can have an all Hawaii Heisman race, but hopefully if they can continue their success on what they have right now, you know, it could happen. And our final topic for today is this big week of Hawaii high school football. Now, we have the top 6 teams in the state battling against each other, and I mean, we have 3 big matchups this week, and it comes at a good timing as well. I mean, you know, so how big of a victory is getting a win this week for a team in the top 6 or anyone in the rankings or having a chance to be a state or league contender. Now, this week is huge for teams in Hawaii high school football. We have number 1 St. Louis taking on Kahuku. That's the battle for number 1. Mililani is hosting Punahou. The last time those 2 teams met was state championship 2014. And we have the upcoming teams, Kamehameha and Campbell. I mean, you know, to be honest, whoever wins this week is pretty much has is in the driver's seat for the rankings wise, you know, and for teams that are not in the top 6 like that, it's also huge too, because I mean, we still have tons of great games, you know, that we'll get into later on. But I mean, getting a win, coming out with a dub this week, I mean, will be huge for every team. And I don't care if you're perfect 3-0. I don't care if you're 0-4. You know, a win is a win this week, and it will be huge for that team, for whoever wins this week. All right, guys. So now we're gonna go into, you know it, my favorite segment of the show, Pick'em. And for those of you who don't know what Pick'em is by now, I have 10 Hawaii high school football matchups, and I get to predict the winner for each of the 10 matchup, and that includes Hawaii's main event. So let's get right into it, and let's start here, going to the Garden Isle here, where Kauai will take on Kapa'a. Now, both teams in my rankings, I have them just outside the bubble, so whoever gets a victory here will most likely and maybe but it is 99% guaranteed that they will stay in the rankings. I mean, yeah. So that's how big of a game that is on Kauai. And actually, Kauai last week played Waimea and they beat Waimea 32-0. So they're 1-0 in league play in the KIF, and this is Kapa''s first league game here in the KIF. And so but the winner for this one, I gotta go with Kawhi. Just because they're on a hot streak right now and they beat Waimea. So I don't think Kawhi wants to stop right now, and they just want to go ahead and get another victory this week. Our next game here is going to be a battle in Halava, as I guess you can say it, as IA will be going to Radford to take on the Rams. Now, Radford came off of a huge victory, and to be honest, I considered Radford's victory over Kailua last week an upset victory because I really thought Kailua was gonna be in a race for the D1 crown, and all that, but I guess not, but for Radford it's huge, and IA, as well, I believe, IA beat Nanakuli, I believe it was like 2 weeks ago, and I believe they're coming off of a bye. Let me check. I believe they're coming off of a bye, but either way though, this is a huge game for both teams. And yeah, so that actually IA is coming off of a 2-week bye because they moved their game on that week of August 23rd between the 24th, and they already had a bye last week. So yeah, but to choose a winner for this, I gotta go with Radford. Because just like for the same reason as Kawhi, they're on a hot streak right now, and I don't think they want to stop. So gotta go with Radford on this one. Now the next matchup here is gonna be a battle for Hawaii Kai here, Kalani against Kaiser.
2,000 years later.
Now, this is a Hawaii Division 2 matchup, but huge rivalry down in Hawaii Kai though, and one of the more bigger ones in the state. But look out for Nicholas Sakamoto, QB for Kalani. Maybe not has the numbers like other quarterbacks like Dylan Gabriel and Hugh, and not Hunter Hugh, but like other quarterbacks, I should just say. But is a playmaker for Kalani along with Koa Tom, great leader on Kaiser. Is a guy that does it all, no matter what his coach says, and he's going to get that job done. And that's why, to be honest, and I'm going to take Kaiser on this one, just because of Kaiser and their leadership, and they're just going in the right direction as of right now. So Kaiser on top over Kalani. Now this next matchup is a huge matchup in Division 1, as Damien will take on Waipahu this week. And to be honest, I think that this is a preview of the state championship game, maybe, if I selfishly look ahead into going further down the season. But yeah, it could be a preview of the state championship in Division 1, as Waipahu, led by running back Alfred Failanga, looking to take down the Monarchs, and the Monarchs will be led by the running back Sulu. But yeah, huge game. But I gotta go with the home team, Waipahu, over Damien, because I think our Failanga will outdo the Damien defense. Now this next matchup here is also in Division 1, but this is an OIA game here, as Kailua will take on Moanalua this week. Now these two teams last met up in the OIA first round matchup last year. Yes, last year. And it's gonna be an interesting matchup, but as I find my wording here to describe this game, and it's gonna be a huge matchup here. Watch out for Moanua's Nick Au quarterback. After going off a rocky start, but in the season against Castle, he really developed so far this weekend. Hopefully, he even more developed, and he's gonna go ahead and have a huge game this week against Kailua. So gotta go with Nick Ao and the Namenehune here over the Surf Riders. And this week is also another huge matchup in Division 1 as Leilehua will take on Iolani. Now, Leilehua, after losing to Farrington in the opening week in interleague play, really stepped up their game, and having lost since they scored 63 points against Nanakuli in their win last week. And then for Iolani, they're coming off of their first defeat last week against Clackamas, Oregon, in Oregon. But yeah, huge matchup this week as I say it again. But I gotta go with Iolani and Jonah Chung over Max Nichols and the Leilehua Mules. I just think Coach Wendell Look will have the Raiders ready for Leilehua, and I just think that it's just going to be a coach's game where where whoever has the better coaching experience and whoever has the more experience in a big game like this, will win this game. So I gotta go with Wendell Look and the Iolani Raiders for this. Alright, and now this next matchup is OIA Division 1 Open play here, and this will be on the west side here as Moana will go into Second City in Kapolei. Now, Waianae, everybody knows the story. They haven't won a game and all that. And Kapolei coming off of their first win on the mainland last week. It was over Downey High School in Southern Cal. That was huge for them, and many people really thought that Kapolei was not going to do well against Downey because Downey was ranked pretty high in the SoCal rankings. As I believe they were going into that game against Kapolei number 8. So a heck of a victory for Kapolei there. So gotta give them credit on that, and congratulations to Coach Darren Hernandez and the Hurricanes on that big victory. But now it's a huge rivalry as they'll battle for the paddle here. Yes, there's a I believe Felipe Hostra said there's a paddle, and I'll try to research it as well for you guys and try to get a picture on there. But yes, there's ever since Moana and Kapolei started meeting in, I believe it was 2017, they started to battle for this paddle here, which has both, on one side has the Kapolei logo and the Waianae logo on the other side. But yeah, so huge rivalry game, but I gotta go with Kapolei with the paddle after the game as they'll beat Waianae. Alright guys, and now we're down to our last 3 games, and these 3 games are huge in the state of Hawaii, and it has people buzzing about these games here this week. Now, our first one will be going into Ewa Beach as the Kamehameha Warriors of Kapalama will take on the Campbell Sabres.
12 seconds later.
Now, this is pretty much the dark horse matchup this week. But Campbell, I think most people have him at number 4. Kamehameha, Kamehameha number 6 in the state rankings. So huge matchup for rankings wise going for next week and throughout the season and all that. But just huge matchup, especially for Kamehameha since this counts against their league record as well, and for Campbell to show that they are a big foe here in the OIA and the state. So that's going to be interesting. Coach Johnson and Coach Ma'afala for their teams there. They'll get each of their teams ready for this big matchup in Eva Beach here, but for this week I gotta go with Kamehameha though, with their outstanding defense. I mean, they proved it. They're pretty much not 2 weeks in a row, but their last 2 games that I saw against Mililani, only holding them to 31 points and had tons of sacks against Dylan Gabriel, and then they went up to Carson, California, to play Carson High again, and they came out with the victory up there, and their defense played very well in that game. So I gotta go with Kamehameha's defense on top over Campbell. Now for this next game here, this is a huge matchup and everybody has been buzzing about this one, and that is Punahou taking on Mililani. Now, the last time these two teams met, a combined score of 98 points were scored as Mililani defeated Punahou in 2014 in the state title game, 53-45. That was the first ever state title for Mililani, and that's when they had the boys Mackenzie Milton and Vavai Malapai as well. And I mean, it's going to be huge. It's huge for both teams. I mean, I know both of them are excited, especially for coaches like Coach Yurek and Coach Kaleane. Just huge matchup. And another thing too is that there's also two highly skilled quarterbacks as well as in Dylan Gabriel and Hugh Brady as well. Just huge matchups, and I think there's gonna be another game where expect video game type numbers. So yeah, pretty excited for that game. So, but to choose a winner though, I gotta go with the boys of Mililani again, somehow over Punahou here, as I believe Dylan Gable and his boys will beat Punahou this week, and I mean they played very well too last week against St. John Bosco. Even though they lost, so I think they will not be discouraged about the St. John Bosco loss, and they're gonna just keep grinding and just take Punahou just take them on and come out with the dub. Alright guys, and now you know what it is. It is Hawaii's main event here, and now we all know what's the main event this week, and that is Kahuku taking on St. Louis at Aloha Stadium. The rematch of last year's state title game. Now, this is a huge matchup here for both teams. Okay, I mean St. Louis, they're trying to show up the nation that on why they're ranked number 10 and all that, and Kahuku to show that they can beat St. Louis, and that hey, don't count us out, and we're gonna be in Aloha Stadium on the last weekend of the high school football season, and we'll be in the state championship game basically, so got huge game for both teams, and now some keys to this game here, I believe is the huge matchup between St. Louis's offense against Kahuku's defense. Excuse me. Now, Jaden DeLaura, putting up video game stats here so far this season, and Roman Wilson, wide receiver for St. Louis, having a huge year this year as well. Just being huge, and all that. And on the Kuku side of the ball, gotta watch out for, of course, Mickey Ayu and Kaniho as well on the defensive side, and also Naunu Emerson, a linebacker and safety for Kuku, really emerging to be a great defensive player, as Emerson has a few scholarship offers, including Hawaii and UNLV. But yeah, but on the other sides of the ball for each team, the St. Louis defense, watch out for Fa'atui Tuitele. He has a buffet load of offers to Division I schools, and that includes like Alabama, Clemson, and you name it. And for Kuku's offense, watch out for offensive line Enoch Vimahi, another guy with a buffet of D1 offers. First, and also watch out for Wesley Alomayava, the Kuku's running back. So far, I haven't seen anyone stop Mayava for so far this week. So I think that's another key. Can Wesley Alomayava and other skill position players like Robbie Savava and Duke Heffernan can have a big game as well. So to be honest, those are my two main keys in this game. But I can go on to have many other keys, but those are the two keys that will determine, I believe, the victory in this one. So that is the St. Louis offense against the Kuku defense, and Wesley Alomayava and the Kuku skill players can have a huge game this week. But now it is time to choose a winner. Now let me take a sip of this. Now, huge game. This is actually the first number 1 versus number 2 ranking game here in the rankings here for me. But gotta love Koku, I gotta love St. Louis for what they are and all that. But Aloha Stadium, huge, gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be packed, with St. Louis and Kuku fans and all that. But you know what? I gotta go give a shout to my boy Sean Yamaguchi on the Honolulu Little League team, because I think he can help me with this. That's why. But but hopefully he gets this message here. But I need some St. Louis gear, and that is my pick. St. Louis on top over Kahuku. And I think it's going to be another outstanding game, maybe even a defensive game, with St. Louis winning it 17-14. Is my prediction. And yeah, but St. Louis, yes, on top for Kahuku. Now, before we end today's show here, I have a few shout-outs or heckles that I want to give on this show here. So, first shout-out goes to MLW Wiffle Ball. I know I gave him a shout last week and all that, but they just ended their season about a week ago, as the Western Wildcats won the MLW World Series last week, and that was their 6th title in franchise history. And congrats to Kyle Schultz and all that. And I want to say also thank you to Kyle Schultz and his brother Daniel Schultz, and to all my MLW brothers this week, as for their hard work and dedication to wiffle ball. And I just love the game of wiffle ball. Even though I don't play it, it's it's super fun, and to see what those guys can do is unbelievable. So huge props to MLW as well. Again, excuse me. And my other shout out goes to YouTuber Cole Adams. There, brother Cole. If you haven't heard of him, you better go check it out. He has awesome sports videos. He does research on teams and all that, and I'll basically go on there based on like why they've been falling, and why they've been rising up. So, and he looks deep into the history and all that. So, and really admire his work. I think he only has 5,000, maybe got up to six. I'm not too sure, but he's one of the dark horses in the YouTube sports industry right now. But yeah, go check it out, Cole Adams. I'll leave a link in the description for his channel, because he does awesome work, But yeah. Alright guys, thank you for watching today's show of Wats Sports Hawaii, in a huge matter here, in a big way, that we have the main event here, number 1 versus number 2, and all the other top 6 teams going at it, along with other huge matchups here. If you want to go ahead and watch some more of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss another video of mine. And also don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my second channel, which is J Magic Watts, where I teach magic and all that as well. I just restarted that channel after a 2-month hiatus. Hiatus as well, as I repeat myself. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this big week of high school football, and with many University of Hawaii sports as well. Good luck to our football team this week as they take on Rice at home, and along with our Wahine volleyball team in their outrigger tournament, and also to the soccer team. I'm not too sure when. I don't know when their next game is, but yeah, good luck to them, and I know you guys have been working hard, and just go get it, But yeah, thank you guys once again for watching today's show. Lick 'em, Fossum, and shoots.